Good afternoon. Welcome to our class, Indian Polity, Advocate General. First of all, I would like to say a very big apology to you. So, because of some other busy schedule, I could not come online. But from now onwards, whenever there is a possibility, so I'll be coming online and I'll be giving you the sessions very regularly. So nowadays, outside this online, so I'm training some other students for almost 11 to 12 hours every day, and 2 more hours are going on in traveling. So that is the reason why I'm not in a position to meet you. But from now onwards, again, we'll make it regular. I'll take out some time. So even now also, I'm sitting outside and speaking to you. But anyways, we'll take up the topic, and as I said, we'll continue. Now, so let me talk to you regarding Advocate General. Advocate General is the first law officer of the state, and he is appointed by the governor, again at the advice of the chief minister. So many things we have seen regarding the Attorney General of India. During that time, we were speaking about the president and Attorney General relation. In between, the Prime Minister will come. Similarly, even at the state level also, every decision will be taken by the chief minister. Accordingly, the governor will be acting on that. And what are all the functions performed by Attorney General at the central level are performed by the so-called Advocate General at the state level. It is just like a repetition, but this functionary is at the state level. Now I'll show you the document straight away. Let me open the document for you and we'll have a discussion on this. Look at this. The Office of Advocate General is mentioned in Part 6. When I say Part 6 of the Constitution, I am talking about the state executive and state legislature, but Advocate General will be a part of the state executive. And if you look at this article, remember the article, very frequently asked question. Article 165 of the Indian Constitution provides for the office of the Advocate General at the states. So this is an office similar to that of Attorney General. But the only thing is that Advocate General is at the state level. And remember, this point is the most important point. Advocate General is the first law officer of the state. Very, very important. He is the first law officer of the state. When talking about the Attorney General, I told you he was the first law officer of the country. But here, this gentleman is the first law officer of the state. Look at this. Remaining points are very simple. It is just like a repetition. Attorney General is appointed by the President. Here I am talking to you regarding Advocate General. And he is appointed by the governors. Look at these qualifications. Attorney General must be qualified to be appointed as a judge of the Supreme Court. Here, Advocate General must be qualified to be appointed as a judge of the High Court. Similarly, look at the term. The Constitution has not defined any term to the Attorney General or Advocate General. So it's just like the same thing. The term of office of the Advocate General is not fixed by the Constitution, but this person is holding the office during the pleasure of the governor. You know the meaning of the pleasure of the president. So here also, when I use the word the pleasure of the governor, it is nothing but in reality the pleasure of the chief minister. You may belong to any state in the country. In your state, you have somebody called Advocate General, and that person is appointed by the governor, again on the advice of the chief minister. If you want, you can watch it very nicely and very closely. During this time, what exactly happens is that whenever the chief minister of your state changes, the Advocate General also majority of the time changes. It is because this particular provision has been created because the chief minister of the day should have so his own person, so that the communication will become easier. That is the reason it's a general practice. He will be the existing advocate general will be asked to step down, and the new advocate general will be appointed. So during that time. So now let me open the document again. So we have seen the term. Now I am talking to you about the removal. Same points. Advocate general is removed by the governor. That is the meaning of the pleasure of the governor. So obviously, what happens? It is the so-called the chief minister will advise, and accordingly, the governor will be removing the advocate. And the constitution has not mentioned any procedure for the removal. It is just be issued. Most of the times, the advocate general will be asked to submit the resignation letter. And whenever he is asked to submit the resignation letter, he is handing over the resignation letter to the governor. Similarly, who decides the salary of the advocate general? I told you in the previous class when I'm talking about the attorney general, ministry for constitutional authorities' salary will be decided by the parliament. But when it comes to the attorney general, the salary is decided by the president. This is one very, very important point. So you need to remember this. Number two. Second point is that at the state level also, for all the important constitutional authorities, maybe chief minister, maybe the other ministers, MLAs, MLCs, Public Service Commission chairman and members, State Finance Commission, everybody's salary will be decided by the so-called the state legislature. But remember, the advocate general salary is decided by governor. I want you to be very clear on these 2 points. Attorney General salary decided by the President. Advocate General salary is decided by the Governor. So this is how the things will happen. Look at this. Comes to the functions. The Advocate General is the first law officer of the state. The Advocate General gives advice to the government of the state on the state upon such legal matters which are referred by the governor. Advocate General also performs functions of legal character that are essential. Also discharges the functions conferred by the Constitution. The Advocate General appears on behalf of the government of the state in all cases in any court in which the government of the state is concerned. And the most important point with respect to this, the Advocate General has the right to speak and take part in the proceedings of both the houses of the state legislature without a right to vote. Kindly remember, this is the only constitutional authority that is permitted by the Constitution. He can come to the state legislature and speak in both the houses, but he is not a member, but still he can take part in the proceedings of the house. And only the members of the state legislature have the right to vote in their respective houses. Now, so apart from this, the Advocate General enjoys all the privileges and immunities that are available to a member of the state legislature. That's it. That's about the small topic here. Very, very small one. And again, so my assurance is that I'll be meeting you very frequently. So this busy schedule may be continued up to the end of May rather. But whenever it is possible, I'll just inform you through our social media. And if you're not available also, just don't worry. But I'll be extending my services. I'm really very, very give you my services, and I'll be meeting you very frequently. Thank you so much for being with me. Please read this particular chapter. Thank you.